yes. So, S&P 500 continues its decline. If you were on the Sunday service, I talked about once that box broke, the nature of a box is an area where for 4 days price holds a low. So you have some sort of anchor point or bottom in which you can base it off of, and you really, really want to see price get above the 5-day moving average, okay? If you don't know what that means, just hang in there, you will. So as we look at this, that box broke. So this is a daily chart, right? This is the S&P 500. Now, we want to be in tune with this for the rest of our life. When you're on vacation, you should know where the S&P. If you're like, I don't want to look, that means you don't like it. Because you eat and sleep and do other things that you do every day, okay? Where's the S&P 500 should be part of your everyday life. Because you breathe, you keep an eye on this. Because you breathe, because you're awake, because you got up and the sun rose, you go look, where's the S&P 500? If you do that, I promise you in life you'll have more money. You'll be money conscious. You'll be market driven. You'll become a better entrepreneur. You'll be able to spot opportunities because they don't drift past you. You have a more intelligent understanding of where the U.S. economy is and where the markets are. Most people are complete dipshits. They do not understand what they're talking about when it comes to finance or stocks or market. They don't know. They do not follow the markets every day. They make weird, strange conclusions based on their life, and somehow they extrapolate, well, if the economy's bad, that means stocks go down. No, it doesn't. That's not what it means at all. Stocks can go up in the midst of a horrific financial decline where everybody on Main Street's doing bad. Stocks can go higher and higher, and you can get richer and richer when everyone around you is scared. Stocks do that from time to time. They literally break correlation with reality, right? And you need to understand that, man. It's super important. It's super important. People will call tops, and it's like, based on what? Your 20 years of research? Like this, people make big decisions on nothing, feelings. So you need to understand that. Keep that in mind. We don't want to make these decisions based on feelings. Oh, I feel like that is a horrible way to do it, man. Because your body, your mind will play with you, man. There's people that'll go study the war in Ukraine, and from that, they extrapolate the next 2 years. Really? You have a crystal ball? Now, there's things that we can do. We could position ourselves, and we could. Maybe that works for you. Follow your gut. Maybe that works for you. What I like to base it on, though, is what actually happens a lot. Like, what is consistently happening. And what I find is if you stay in tune with this. Now, let me show you something. Remember, I wrote this many years ago. And I didn't come up with the 4 stages. I'm just a student of it. And originally, you guys know who originally created this? I've got his book, man. The guy that created the Dow Jones Industrial Average, Charles Dow. If you go look and read on him, he had this thing called the market theory. If you go, it's interesting reading, man, to go read on, Dow Jones, man. There was a dude named Dow and there was a dude named Jones. And one day they became kissing cousins and they started a business together. Dow and Jones, right? 2 people. Well, Dow used to put out a newsletter, much like I do. Except he couldn't put it on Instagram or Twitter or any of that. He would mail it to people in the mail. He would wire it to people, telegraph, shit. They did, all kinds of things but it was the old ways, man. And he's the one that first began to track stocks and goes, you know what? If you take a couple stocks from the trains and you take a couple stocks from the food service and you take a couple stocks from this and this. Now, remember, they have different sectors over the years. There was whaling and, and kerosene. There's been egg, all kinds of shit has come and gone that trades on the markets, Different sector. It used to be less sectors. Now there's 11. To me, there's 12. We had Bitcoin, right? So this comprises the 11 sectors of the United States stock market. Even stocks that aren't from here. I mean, they're in here, right? It's the 500 largest companies. And what we're seeing right now is they broke the box, which tells me they're going to where? I don't even have to use my feeling. It's going to about right in here, right? This is where it stopped before, in this zone right in here. That's where it stopped before. So I don't need to use feelings or the news. I just assume it's going to go there. And when it goes up, I assume it's going to stop at the next box. Does that mean it's done going up or done going down? Nope. But we should see the market stop here. When am I looking for a reversal? When the RSI goes extreme. Does that look extreme? Nope. And to be honest, it's not quite at the bottom, right? That's the bottom right there, around 415. So we got another 5 points down on the S&P before I would even think that we're bottoming. We're bottoming. But look at this. We're underneath the 200-day moving average. That's when shit gets exciting because that's when it gets easy. So now you just got to pick quality shit. So if you're a swing trader, get ready. Like they're setting up. If you're a buy and holder, get ready. This is when you buy and hold, man. This is when you do it. Like, so as you watch every day, if you're watching this cycle play out in Bitcoin, right, in bonds, the Dow Jones, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and if you're into growth stocks, use ARK, man. Use ARK, okay? And you go, they'll say, what do you think about DraftKings? ARK. What do you think about this? ARK. Meaning that fund is going to turn when those turn. So that's your index. If it's in a straight downtrend, your stock's probably going down. If Bitcoin's going down, your coins are probably going down. Now you might say, well, what about this one? Yeah, there'll be outliers, but the general weight of the market, the pressure, it's like someone standing on you, pushing on your head, man. So they're pushing this down. And you'll see it'll slow down, the volume will dry, and then what? It'll start to go sideways. That, my friends, is secret information. Down, and it'll start. Doesn't that look like this picture, though? If you just look at it, you can just see price moving. Now, you have to define the stage one, and that's why is it below the 20? Is it going sideways? Is there an anchor point? That helps you draw this shit out, right? The anchor points, the pivot points, the 4 days, moving sideways. Like, that shit helps you draw this out because it's not going to be this pretty for you, okay? And so as I'm looking at it, it's a stage 4 decline. Have we bottomed? No, not at all. The RSI says what? 34. That's not extreme. Means the pressure continues. Is there a low below this? Yes. Means the pressure continues. This is going down. You have to assume it's going down. That's my assumption. Has this turned at all? No, not at all. So what do I expect? The stock market to continue to go down, but it's getting closer to the bottom, or at least a buyable bottom. You know, so I want it to stop, and then I'll look at buying. Like, I want to buy here, right? Like, during all this shit selling off, I mean, I want to buy here. Why? Because that tells me it's the bottom. And you say, well, what if it goes lower? Well, all right, but that is the bottom. Meaning, the day that it is the actual bottom, that's what it'll look like. Even if it does another one, at one day, one time, that'll be the bottom, and they all look exactly the same. And so you see how simple that gets for a buy and holder. Like, all you gotta do is watch them and have money. That's it. I mean, that's your job, you know. And that's a hard enough job in and of itself, right there. Just watching this every day, I bet you can't. Lost my pen, man. Where'd my pen go, man? Come on, man. Lost my pen, man. Just watching every day is hard, man. And if you do it, pat yourself on the back. It's not easy. And you say, well, I watch every day. Okay, Mr. 2 months. Let's see you in 2 years, 5 years, 10 fucking years. What is something you've done in your life consistently for 10 years? Most of us, nothing. You know, what do you mean, Gerald? Nothing. You haven't worked out consistently for 10 years? You haven't played the piano every day for 10 years? What have you done every day for 10 years? Now, some of us have. Some of you have, I know for a fact. But I'm just saying, think about this. What have you done every day for 10 years? Most of the things you've done every day for 10 years, you can do without thinking about it. By the time a kid is 10 years old, he knows about going to sleep. He knows about getting up. He knows about using the restroom. He knows about sitting down to eat dinner. Like, he knows a lot of these things are automatic. He doesn't have to put a lot of thought into it. Well, after doing the market for 10 years, watching, staying on this game, it becomes so ingrained. This is just second nature. This is fucking easy. You're like, why aren't other people doing this? What is wrong with them? That's how you begin to look at it. Same thing with real estate. You begin to acquire properties, and you're 10 years in of being a person that just buys properties. It becomes completely second nature. All the shit that other people can't seem to get past to get going, you're long past that. Like, you're rolling. The ball is rolling. You're pushing it, man. If anything, fuck, you need to take a break. Right? And then you're like, I don't need a break. Reading a chart takes me 5 seconds. 5 seconds. 5 seconds. Buying a house takes like 20 minutes. Like, we can walk around in 20 minutes. We know if this is a good 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Stocks are the same way, man. Once this is part of your daily life, this is not weird shit for you anymore. Like, talking about it. Some of you were new. You're new right now. So this is weird to your family. It's not going to be weird to your family in 10 years if you do your job. Meaning, if you stay on this and you build wealth and you're staying in it day in and day out, and you're not the kind of person that jumps in and out based on every little fucking trauma in your life. Most people quit this because, oh, this happened, and then I had to, and then it's some shit in their life, man. Life steals their wealth. Life will take your attention off of this. Something will steal your attention. And you got to guard against that. I guard against it. I push back on it. Everyone that's going to steal my attention on this, go fuck yourself. I'm telling you, man. Anybody that got in the way of me acquiring real estate, like, I have to have that mindset. If there's something that's taking this from me, something's got to change, man. Something's got to change. And you got to push on that, man. You got to push on that. So this is stage 4. And you need to know that quickly. There's my bottom. We know that. We look up at the RSI, easy peasy. We know there's still more room to the downside. It don't matter what's on TV, what's on the news, what's going on. This is where price is probably going to stop. And then we wait for what? The stage 4 to be built. Right? That right there. So, or stage 1, excuse me. Once it stops, we're looking for accumulation. What? 4 days. 4 days for that to hold. 4 days. So if I was a short-term trader, if I'm swing trade, I'm using 1 hour charts and swing trade, you'd be what? You'd be on the short side. The trend is to the downside, right? Once that broke, man, that's your signal. This is all shorting. Remember I was saying on Sunday, I don't have any interest in shorting here because I'm just playing a different game. I'm trying to get much larger positions in certain stocks, not move in and out of stocks. I got enough taxes and shit right now. I'm trying to build generational wealth. So I need these prices lower so I can accumulate large amounts of shares. Okay. But if you're moving in and out, that's fine. But this should have been switched to a much lower time frame, and the overall direction is down. Once it went below the 20, it's down. Now the concern becomes when the stage 1 starts. So if you're shorting it, and all of a sudden a stage 1 forms, well, money flow says price is going to go back here, and then where? Then here, right? Once it breaks up, it goes to the next stage 1. Or previous high boxes, whatever you want to call them. It's going to go to the next ones, right? It's going to go up, stop, and then probably up. So as a swing trader, those become my targets because they're logical places for price to stop. That's why they have some resistance. So other people call it resistance. I call it a profit target. I don't know if it's going to stop there or not. It might. If it does, good. I took some off the table. If it doesn't and goes through, cool too. I took some off. Now I got less shares. We'll let it ride. And what's the next target? The next one. And it adds order to chaos. And you begin to look at this logically, and it should take seconds. You should be able to do this shit in seconds. It's not complicated, especially on something like Bitcoin. So once we've settled whether we want to own Bitcoin or don't own Bitcoin, like, you got to get past that. But once you're past that, now you know what to do, right? And you say, but Gerald, I don't know if the money flow works on this. I don't know if it flows like that. I don't know if it goes sideways and then goes up and then goes sideways and then goes down and then goes sideways. I don't know if it does that with Bitcoin. Looks a lot like that, doesn't it? Looks almost exactly like it. Literally exactly like it. Now, when I tell people this, when I show this, they think that means I think I know where the market's going. I don't have any idea. Anybody thinks they know where the stock market's going is delusional. They have no idea. It's randomness, meaning you can be the best poker player at the table. You could know game theory. You could know statistically what you should do when they hand you that next card based on how many 5s or 10s are out there. And you have a hand in your hand, and there's statistically a best option play, right? They hand you a card. That doesn't mean you're going to win. You might blow out. There's the randomness, and that's the element in the stock market that keeps really smart people from making all the fucking money. Because if you could just use your brain and be intelligent, everyone would be a trillionaire. Like, I know the mechanics. I have an account. I have money. If I could just, and I'm a smart guy, if I could just use my brain, all the money would be mine. Doesn't work like that. Why? Unknowns. Unknowns. Things happen to the stock market we can't account for. So you got to know that. You're like, well, I love Home Depot stock. All right, well, there's a war in Russia. Now, as a trader, short-term momentum trader, good. You can't confuse long-term investing with short-term swing trading. You got to be clear and fucking definitive. Here's where my stop goes. Here's my target. Like, you got to be on that, man. Now, what if you're like, well, I have a job. I know. That's why we position trade. That allows us to go out and work on our real estate or sell our real estate or sell cars or drive for whatever or run my hardware store, run this restaurant and do other things like go make a fucking living. And in the meantime, I can see assets that are undervalued and I realize there's the chaos of the market, but I could create order and structure out of that chaos and set points and targets and values and all this shit and understand that I don't know if it's going up or down. I have no idea. Doesn't mean I can't play. Doesn't mean I can't have rules for myself. And that's what that means. So as we look at Bitcoin, it looks a lot like the money flow, right? A lot like it's in a downtrend. It's trying to get back in the box. If it gets back in the box, super bullish. Meaning breaks a box, back in a box, super bullish. So Bitcoin's right on the edge of that right now. So we're watching it closely. So when you're like, oh, I'm busy later, talking to Larry, maybe every once in a while, check Bitcoin. If it wouldn't be an inconvenience to you, maybe check the price. Is that hard? No. Like when you say it like that, you realize how fucking easy and stupid it is that more people aren't doing that. They're like, oh man, I couldn't watch it. I was with my mom. All right, well, I don't know about that. I know what I'm doing, and I know what I'm trying to accumulate. I know where I'm trying to go, and I know everything around me should assist me. And I should love people and help people, but if I master something, it doesn't take me that long to get going, okay? So I can quickly flip over, boom, boom, see what's happening. All right, we're still in stage 4 decline. What are we waiting for? We know the money flow. We're waiting for this to tick up. We're waiting for this to come out. We're waiting for this to at least go sideways. We're waiting for price to get back in the box, which means above the 5-day moving average, right? And then where's the target going to be? Previous high if I'm swing trading. So a swing trader could be watching this and a buy and holder because we both want to catch the bottom. The difference is I'm not looking to sell it when he is because he's trading. I'm not trading there. But the entry's the same. So a guy says, well, I'm a buy and holder. I don't need to know how to trade. Yeah, well, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. You don't think me knowing the skills of a home flipper wouldn't help me in my real estate as an investor renting? Because home flippers know like the most efficient way to do this and how to get the best price on countertops. And what about like, I need to know that shit. That'll improve my buy and hold. Wouldn't understanding how lights work a little bit and the best place to get, the price for this, like value is important to a house flipper. It's everything, but it's also important to a guy trying to build equity in a buy and hold. And so these things are the same. There is no difference in real estate and stocks, guys. People make it like it's fucking confusing. We're buying value. We're buying assets that either appreciate or produce cash flow. It is the same thing. The difference is With stocks, you can pick your phone up and based on emotions, hit a button and move the market. And because everyone's a fucking basket case, prices move up and down real fast every fucking day. And because millions of people are playing, imagine if 10 million people descended on your real estate market tomorrow and we could do it electronically. It would be chaos. You can't though. And so the real estate market has friction between you and the market. Stocks, no friction, zero. Nobody asks you, are you drunk right now? Nobody says that. You could be high on meth, just clicking buttons, right? There's no stopping you. You had a fight with your wife, you could come in and just take it out and do all kinds of dumb shit in the stock market. Because you can click a button, you can lose all your money. Just clicking buttons, click away. Or you can make a fortune. You can make a fortune. And you make a fortune for certain. You slow it down. I mean, 100%. It's math. So the reason you follow the S&P 500, let me show you. I know some of you are like, well, that's kind of boring, Gerald. I don't want to follow that thing. All right. Let's back it up, man. So we're on Instagram right now just for subscribers, right? And I need to bring them some value. Look at this thing. This is the index, the S&P 500. A lot of new traders, investors ask, what should I buy? Buy the index, man. Why? Because it'll teach you and you won't go broke. Matter of fact, you're almost certain to make money. And they're like, what do you mean? Look, this is 12 years. Look, it goes all the way back to 1850. Up, 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 up. It's a no-brainer. I mean, you can't lose, man. This is why people encourage people to do index fund investing. Because it works. Yeah, but we're trying to beat that. I want to beat that. I want to beat index fund investing. I do. And I want options. See, the drawback to index fund investing isn't that it doesn't work. Of course it works. I own like 100,000 of the S&P 500. I'm going to keep buying more. Should probably die with 3, 4. Probably die all my money's in the S&P because my wife will just sell everything and move it all over there. Okay? So at the end of the day, all my money will probably end up in the S&P. That wouldn't surprise me one bit. Because why? It works. Always has. When you don't work, it does. When you don't show up, it is. When you don't look at church tomorrow, there it is. It is more consistent than any of us. You're like, I don't feel like it. Well, it doesn't care. And if we know that, meaning your grandfather could have played this and didn't. They chose not to. Your parents probably chose not to. And it's a no-brainer. Fuck, $1 a day is a no-brainer. Like something, we got to put in something, okay? So this is a no-brainer. Now, that's what my thought is on Bitcoin. The Bitcoin is now going to be the 12th sector of the S&P 500, if it works. If it works, just owning some is smart. Now, there's a lot of smart people on planet Earth who just decided not to know. I don't want to spend 10 minutes looking. I don't want to watch that 1-hour video. I'd rather just be completely blind to it and stand on that. Most of us filter investing through our own filters. I have to be aware of this too. I used to be big time against Section 8 investing. Nope, don't do it. I'd teach against it. And then I met a guy who had made about $28 million doing Section 8 investing. And he talked to me. And as I do, when I meet people, I know you guys don't do this, but when I meet people, I want to know how you make your money. That tells me how this conversation is going to go. Meaning I might not care about your political belief depending on what you do or where you're from, right? I mean, am I wasting my time talking here? Or are we going to have you get what I'm saying? Like, I might not care about your opinion on Uber. You don't even have the app. I had a guy that day, why don't you invest in Uber? I'm like, do you ever use Uber? No. All right. I'm not spending another second talking to this guy about defending my investment in Uber when he's decided it's bad. He's never even used the product, never looked at an earnings statement, hasn't read anything to do with it. What are you doing? Like, why would we spend time on that? Now, maybe if I was trying to teach in that context, with just a random conversation or posting on, arguing with people, I'm not spending any time on that, man. They're not educated enough to have the conversation. Same on Bitcoin. So if you made a decision, I don't like Bitcoin, I hope it was based on, at least 30 hours of research. If it wasn't, okay. You literally just went into the section that's like, don't even talk to these people. Their opinion doesn't matter. Like, you have to go research it, man. And after 30 hours of research, if you say, yeah, this is bullshit, then good. You based it on something logical. And maybe 30 is a made-up number. Maybe 5 hours. I know 30 hours, people are like, 30 hours? My God. No, maybe 5 hours. Maybe 5 hours of research. Then you could determine. And not go read 5 hours worth of shit against it. But a well-rounded investigation. This is another one. So you should be looking at the S&P every single day. And even if you're a realtor, you should look at the price of Bitcoin. Even if you're a truck driver, you should look, okay? Even if you're a stay-at-home mom, you should look. Where's the price? $38,000. You don't have to have it memorized, but it's $38,940. Most people in your life don't know that, okay? Where's the Qs? Oof, look at this. This is the NASDAQ. Big cap stocks, big cap tech stocks. Where's support? Now, tech has been weak, right? Oh man, it's been weak. What a perfect money flow pattern, though. It went right to the previous high and stopped. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? Bam, stopped right there. Means that's going to be hard to get through. 370, we're going to revisit that in the future, and it's going to be hard to get through. That's going to be one of those third, they'll be like, it's a head and shoulders. Your dad thought Disney's going broke. I mean, they've survived this long. They'll probably keep making it. Yeah. Our parents and shit, though, we got to give a pass, man. My dad says the craziest shit. I'm just like, okay. I'm not even having this conversation with you because you've literally not read or studied anything. NASDAQ's coming in. Here's the problem on the NASDAQ. Look, 35 RSI means we should anticipate lower prices. We've seen some breaks in some of the things that have been working. Big hit to me. Woo! Big down day for me. My largest positions are oil. Look at that big sell-off. Bam. Now, to be fair, we were trimming. You should have been trimming with me. I didn't want to trim too much. And this can be you play with your mind a little bit here. I'm trying to build a cash flowing position in these stocks, which means there could be years that this price goes lower, and you're going to look back and go, I could have sold all my oil at $90. That's what people do. And then they play this what-if game. I should have sold all my... No. You want to trim some and then hold it. Let it come in. We're good with this. We want it to come in. Why? So we can get more. I mean, ideally. Because, look, they're going to pay dividends, man. I don't want dividends paying $90 a share. I'd rather dividends buy me some at 70, and then it goes sideways, and then it turns and runs back up to 80. You get what I'm like? We need that ebb and flow, man, so that new people can get on, man. Think about it in housing terms. Market just keeps going up, and up. Well, fuck, at some point, nobody can get on. So we need it to go up, sideways, stop a minute, cool off, start to come down, so that different people with different reasons, different timelines can get involved, man. Not everybody wants to own, a rental for 30 years. They might want to just buy it for 3 to 5, get equity out of it, flip it, roll it, 1031 exchange it, and just keep rolling. Like everyone's coming at the market for something different, man. And so we as owners, we don't want it to just keep going up and up and up. That sounds fun, but the last thing you want at 32 years old is everything you buy goes straight up. That is going to be a problem because you don't have enough money in. You want to buy it higher and higher and higher? I don't. Fuck that. I want to take advantages of big sell-offs and buy. Now, but what you got to get past is somehow you're going to get out up here perfect and get all your, you got to get past that, man. So most of you are, I know, but you never know who I'm talking to. Let's see. What's up, Instagram? Look at that. 23 people, not a heckler. No bots. I love that, man. I had a guy got mad at me yesterday. Man, I don't appreciate that subscription thing you did. And I said, well, then don't do it. It's not complicated, bro. Yeah, but you were showing stock lives on, I know. And there's no bots. I haven't seen one person go, what about DraftKings? 50 fucking times. It drives me crazy. Cut out on all the 14-year-old kids with a phone. But I do got to talk to those people, right? That's the balance I got to run. And it's like, I think about this a lot as a guy I'm trying to teach, and you have no reason to listen to me. I'm just a person teaching. And I got to somehow get in front of people. I got to somehow push my intent. I got to somehow share the money flow. Honestly, if you think about it, by sharing it, if more people do it, it actually makes it work better. So in one sense, much like Michael Saylor's out there Bitcoin every day, just pumping Bitcoin. Yeah, no shit. He's got $4 billion worth. It's in his interest to pump Bitcoin every day. It is actually in my interest to, it spread as many people possible to see this. Now, under no delusion that I think I can move the market, but it doesn't hurt, right? Can't hurt. And then the other side obviously is I believe in it, and I think it's a safer approach, man. I think it's a safer approach. So let's look at a stock we might like, and then I'll get off here. Look at Tractor Supply. I'm not in Tractor Supply, but this is an interesting play. 1.7% dividends stock. It's a growth stock. So inside of the world of dividend stocks, we got different levels of dividends. All these ones you see with the 8, 9, 10, 12% dividend yields, those stocks are never going to double, triple, quadruple. That's not what they do. They give out all the money they make. So a stock like AG&C is never going to $100, guys. Never. Never going to happen. It's going to fluctuate between, $7, $8, maybe $20. It just goes back and forth. Based on interest rates, based on the housing market, it's just going to fluctuate. It's got some factors that affect just mortgage REIT. And all the bad news, and it'll go up and it'll go down. This is Tractor Supply. Different shit affects Tractor Supply than affects AG&C. Tractor Supply is a growth company. They can keep opening stores. They're still trying to grow. They're trying to compete with Home Depots and Lowe's, right? And Menards and Ace Hardware. They're trying to compete. But if they keep growing stores as a growth stock, this, it's 235. This could become 300, 350, 500, 1,000, right? This stock can go up, and up. Dividend stocks don't do that. This is why it's mostly older retirees. They're trying to just park their money, and they want to get a return in the form of what? Dividends, and not selling shares. Because if you own a whole bunch of shares of this and you need $10,000 to pay your bills this month, you got to sell the shares. But if you collect enough dividends, you don't have to sell them, right? So the more money they pay out, the less upside to the stock, usually, in the form of appreciation. Keep that in mind. That doesn't mean avoid them, but that means also don't go build a portfolio of literally all 10% dividend yield. You could, but understand your base isn't going to double, triple, quadruple. The S&P 500 is going to keep going higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. Watch this. We'll come back to Tractor Supply. Here's AG&C, the last decade. Basically, same price, $11, as it was in 2012. 10 years, same fucking price. 2012, the price was $11. Go all the way over. 2022, $11. But the whole time, it's throwing you off 8 to 10% dividend yields. Now, if we put the stock of Tesla up here, if you're a retiree, did you want Tesla or did you want AG&C? Well, it ain't going to do you no good to own Tesla if you got to keep selling the fucking shares. Right? So it's a different thing, man. It's a different type of asset. So You got to understand that because something pays a high dividend yield could actually be bad for you. Might be good, could be bad. Just think it through why you're doing what you're doing. Get what I'm saying? Think through what it is you're doing. So when you buy an AG&C, it's not going to $30, man. Never. In 2008 crash, it went to like $1, $1.50. As we watch this money flow, what I want to try to do is just add some on stage ones and then forget about it. That's it. That's it on that stock. Set the dividends to drip. When your position gets big enough to where the dividends are legit, like you're getting $200, $100, you may decide, I have enough AG&C. I'm just going to take that little drip and I'm going to buy stocks with it. Maybe like Tractor Supply, which is a dividend growth stock. Meaning as this company grows, it's going to grow its dividend. It just started its dividend not too long ago. So companies like Starbucks, the very first company I preached when I came onto Instagram and I was posting more than just me hanging out with, family and shit. I'm like, I'm going to try to use this platform to teach. The first two stocks that I talked about, one was Starbucks and one was Campbell's Soup. And I said, listen, never sell Starbucks. Now, when I say never, obviously there could be a situation where you would, but let's pretend it's never, okay? Like, that's how you should look at it. Warren Buffett says when you buy a car, you only get one. Pick one. Are you buying a Ferrari or are you buying a Honda? It's the only one you can ever have for the rest of your life. That would change the equation, right? Think of them like that. Once it goes into your buy and hold. Now, I'm not talking swing trading. All that's separate. Buy and hold will make you a better swing trader because you'll be following the flow of the money flow. And if you look at this, stage 3 here, price going sideways, where did it stop? Literally the previous high. That's our pattern, right? Price goes sideways, runs up, goes down, comes down, goes sideways, and when it runs up, it stops at previous high. Oh man, this is funny. And I've only ever looked at this stock recently. I mean, I know it. I just not want to pay attention to it. But I'm looking for some more growth dividend plays. So Starbucks is a growth dividend play. They're going to be growing their dividend over time. AT&T, probably not. AG&C, probably not. They're not growing it. They just try to maintain this big, fat, juicy dividend. Stock like Starbucks wants to grow the share price and the dividend. Okay? That's a growth dividend play. So as we look, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4 coming down now. Here's the thing. RSI is already extreme. Well, almost. We've got a minor level. But the next level down is here. This could hold. There is a level right there. So this could hold. But what do we need? I need 4 days, right? I need 4 days. And that's how I would enter. Let's say I'm stalking a new stock. This is how I would enter it. I would use this stage 4 and I want to add, let's say I'm not, but I'm looking at it. I haven't added it yet though. But let's say I wanted to add Tractor Supply. And I'm like, you know what? I got some Home Depot. I got a little bit of Lowe's. I'd like to add a little growth play to this retail home and garden gentleman farmership. Maybe Dick's Sporting Goods is one. So as you're building out this portfolio and you're looking at your stocks, you're like, all right, telecom, I've got T, I've got Chevron. That's the communications sector of the S&P. Okay, I've got Tractor Supply, Dick's Sporting Goods, a little Home Depot. Now that's the what? That's retail of the S&P. Maybe I got Walmart and maybe I got a little Target. Now, you're not buying all these in one fucking day. Remember, we're doing this for 10 years. Remember, we're following this for the rest of our life. So maybe this year you take down Tractor Supply. You get a nice little position over the next year, and then you don't really add to it because then all of a sudden retail sells off again. And this time when retail sells off, you're like, you know what? I'm not going to add to Tractor Supply. I'm going to pick up some of this Target. And as you go forward into your 30s, 35, 40, 45, 50, guess what? These are all throwing you off money that you're reinvesting, right? I know, man. It gets hard to believe. Doing the same thing for 10 years, Gerald? But what if I get bored? What if I get scared? Do I still have to play if I get scared? Because sometimes I'm scared. Yes, even then. Even then. Let's see. A man says, wow, there's only 26 of us here. That subscription is way more exclusive. So, don't take offense if I make fun of you for getting scared. 2 of my friends are on vacation right now. I wanted to text him. One of them's been on vacation 3 times. I'm like, bro, come on, man. Why are you bullshitting? Why are you living below your possibilities, man? Come on, man. That ain't what life's about. I know people think it is. Let's see. I got to get you guys thinking that life's more than doing nothing. We got to get past that, man. Man, I'm just glad Gandhi didn't spend all his time on. Imagine if Martin Luther King had been like, yeah, man, I don't know, man. I think I'm going to go on vacation. I know you guys got that Million March thing coming up, but I don't know, man. I think I'm going to go down to Puerto Rico or something. That's a good thing here. Maybe George Washington, he should have been like, man, yeah, we could do this whole revolution thing. Everybody's getting all fired up about building a country. But I was thinking about spending some more time with the kids, to be honest. Yep. We live in a weird world, man. We've given people this idea that they have that kind of time, man. And everything's just that good. Like, fuck it. Just leave the kingdom, man. Just go take a break. Like, I got enough money. Everything's good. What could possibly go wrong? Man, I don't know, man. Scares the shit out of me. Scares me, man. Yeah, I work on vacations too. And I'm not, people sometimes think like, oh, that sounds terrible. Bro, when you love what you do, what's terrible is not getting to do it. Ha-ha! All right, there, told you. How about that? What if you don't like to do that? Because when you're not doing what you like to do, you feel uncomfortable. Yeah, man. My wife likes to go to the beach so goddamn much. I say, I'm not going to rent places down there. This is bullshit. We're buying one. I'm an owner of assets that appreciate and produce cash flow. I am not a renter. I rent. I do not rent. I'm a renter. I rent to people. I don't rent. Not to say I haven't, but that's not where I'm at now. Now I got to be on the other side of the transaction on everything. You're like, goddamn, gas is expensive. I know. That's why I'd like to own about $100,000 worth of gas stocks. You're like, man, these cigarettes are expensive. I know. That's why I want to own like $50,000 in cigarette stocks. You're like, man, coffee at Starbucks is ridiculous. I know. That's why I want to own a bunch of shares of Starbucks. Like, I want to be on the other side of these transactions. You're like, man, this insurance is fucking ridiculous. I know. That's why I'd like to own an insurance company. Like, for everything like that, when you go through life, you're like, wow. Like, so that's why it's hard for me, man. It's hard for me to go on vacation because I just see all these people making money. I don't own the bar that we're spending the money at. I don't own anything here. They're all just taking our money. And as a guy that's trying to accumulate and grow and build my shit, it's hard for me to spend it on other people, man, like that. Or to give it to other people, I mean. It rakes me, man. It rakes me. Some people are cool with it. No, I'm still in SOXL. I mean, my position wasn't gigantic. That's a mover, man. I try to tell people, don't play these triples. Don't play these triples if you can't handle the moves. They're a bitch, man. But here's the thing, it's an option. You should treat it like an option that doesn't expire or cut your losses fast, one or the other. I play them as options that don't expire. UTSL finally broke. I was already down a half position. Holding some. We'll let it set up. It's probably going to go higher. But yes, Tori, I'm still in SOXL. Holding, right? We can't add here. I mean, you could. I don't want to add here. We need to get back. If he gets back up into this box here, let me show you what I mean. This is the box. right? That's the box. And right now, everything's pointing straight down. So as of today, we have a bottom. This is your bottom to trade off of. If the next day it's above this, and the next day it's above this, and the next day it's above this, the next day you can buy. It's holding this bottom. So we would conclude that this is possibly a stage 1, right? You could add. Now you could wait, let it confirm a little more if you want, let it come up in here, but if you look, the RSI is not extreme. So this is, I was saying today in Discord, we're getting conflicting signals. And you're like, what do you mean? Well, if we start thinking too soon, this could possibly be a bottom, but yet the RSI has plenty of room to go lower. The 5-day, 10-day, and 20-day are all pointing down. The only thing we have right now is the MACD ticked up. And all of this is in my stock charts class. And so what I'm really looking for, and it's not foolproof, but if all of these come together, it gives me a logical way. And then every time I just use the same signal. And you're like, well, shit, that one didn't work. But, oh, that one worked great. So, like, when we got into this one, SOXL went down. That same day, if you watch that video, I've also bought, what? UTSL. Now, UTSL shot up and the other one went down. And we've been downsizing this one. In a perfect world, hopefully I get some of this money. In a perfect world, I'd be adding to SOXL, and then it would go up, but we don't know if that's going to happen. I would wait. I like SOXL a lot more here than I did up there. Yeah, man, I spent $120 at Pineapple Willie's the last time I was there in one day drinking pina coladas. I'm like, fuck. So I do enjoy going out and partying, though. Don't misunderstand me. I just, man, I'm so hungry, man. I'm always so hungry. Like I have these very clear goals, and I can't even share all mine with other people, man, because there's things that I want to do, man, that I'm trying to do. And so I'm like my time is winding down on this earth, man. I'm 52. People are like, oh, you got a lot of time. No, bullshit, man. You start fucking thinking like that, man, you're going to not end up with what you want, bro. Because life is coming at you. Your spouse is coming at you. All these other things are coming at you, trying to keep you from doing this and doing what you were called. You meet a guy that says, I'm called to be an actor, or I'm called to be this. I'm trying to accumulate more real estate, man, and more stocks. And that's my goal every day. And that's why I work, and that's why I sell shit. My single purpose in life is that's my goal, and that's what I love doing. No different than someone that likes playing the violin. This is my music, man. And so sharing it, teaching it, doing it. And when I meet people who claim that's theirs, well, then I expect everything else to come in line with that. Like follow, do what you're saying, or don't expect it to, to be better. I mean, it's going to be based on your level, man. I mean, what makes you happy, what you're trying to accomplish in life. You know what I mean? That one time goes quick, man. And I don't have time. So like any time. And I equate everything to that. People be like, hey, Gerald, do you want to do this? And I'm thinking, yeah, no. I have like 3 other things way more important that I should be doing. Now, sometimes you can mix the two. It's one reason I like New Orleans, because it's like a vacation / party place, plus I can work. And so I'm able to mix all 3. You know what I mean? Able to mix all 3. My friend, the professor, trying to get me to go to Puerto Rico. I love the guy. You guys seen their thing? Bro, I'm doing way too much shit to have time hang out with a bunch of kids in Puerto Rico. I mean, come on. None of those kids own, 17 properties. I mean, maybe I guess I could be talking out my ass. I don't think they do. I don't think they're remodeling shit. They're not doing what I'm doing. So, I can't just take a week off and hang out in fucking Puerto Rico. Now, there's people that say, well, of course you could. I could. Yes, I could. But I have other goals. Like, my goals aren't aligning with that. And of course, it'd be fun. I mean, I'm not saying it wouldn't be fun. No shit. But I got shit to record, things to put out. I'm working on a new course. I've got, property I'm looking at. Like, I got shit to do, man. hang out at a beach all week. I mean, I don't know. Maybe like if are you paying? Like is there somehow that's got to work for me, and just taking time off to hang out, that don't work, man. I don't see how I gain followers. I don't see how I sell any book. Like I don't see how I do any of that applies. So every transaction I'm trying to evaluate, and this is just me talking, there and this, with the majority of my time, not every single moment. Like obviously, you got to stop and smell the roses with the family at times. I'm not saying that. I'm saying all the other time. There's so much wasted fucking time that if we could clean that up and allocate that to big things that are bigger than what, man, it gets big, man, it gets beautiful. Hey, man, I went way longer than I meant to. You could, but other things are more important. Yeah, and those are value determinations, right? And you got to make, you're like, nah, I'm not that into it. That's fine. That sometimes, and people are, well, and I'm like, well, then that wasn't talking to you, Like if it doesn't align with your spirit, but other people it does. Somebody needed to hear that, Somebody needed to hear it, man. I got rich friends that follow me, and they're wealthy guys. And they'll be like, man, stop telling people to pay their car off. They should allocate that money to them. I'm like, yeah, bro. That makes sense to you because you're rich. But they're not even investing because they have car payments. It's like you don't get what I'm saying, man. You're living in a different world, man. You got different values. You have different survival needs. So the secret is you no longer need to survive. When you're trying to survive, it's really hard to trade. If you're trying to survive, it's really hard to invest. Right? So most of us, we got to get past survival mode. And guess what? You're going to run into survival mode at times. At my house, we call that shut it down. So if I say, hey, we're shutting it down, they know what that means. That means we're in survival mode right now. Let's see. Hey, small time real estate. We talked about on the phone. Text me about that. We'll do that this week, bro. Unless it's personal, we should do it on a podcast, man. That way everybody else could listen in. I like when they listen in. I like when people listen to the people I talk to. All right, man. I got to go. I got a couple calls to make. We're going to watch this market. I'd be pretty patient here. I don't see anything jumping off at me. I like Starbucks. I like FFE. I'm kind of boring because I'm repeating the same stocks. I want to add some more to PFF. It's a buy and hold of mine. Hasbro hasn't pulled back. Yeah, could add here. I'm being greedy. I bought enough down here that I don't want to buy more unless it really comes down. Uber's on the list. Uber's back in the box. I'm watching Uber to see if it gets above. Look, it's right there, man. Above the 5, back in the box. I like it. I got a lot of Uber, but I don't know if I should keep buying it, but I'm sure tempted to. Yeah, man, how did that Earn Your Leisure thing go, man? Did that go good? I know you went to it. I didn't even know about it, or I would have went, man. I say I would have went, but maybe not. I would have went just to heckle them or something. I don't know. No, I like those guys. I wouldn't mind shooting some footage from there. Let's see. So keeping an eye on Uber. Yeah, Verizon got downgraded. Too soon on Verizon. Too soon. Look. Bam. It broke this box too. So what does that tell me? Let's go into the next box. It sucks. I got a bunch of this too. Right here. I know this. Verizon's in the buy and hold. I ain't selling it. They'll figure the shit out. It broke this box. I got to imagine by the end of the day, this comes back up and this box holds. But the RSI isn't extreme, so I'm in no rush here. I wouldn't buy because if chances are it's coming down or it's going to hold in this area, and you got time this week. You get what I'm saying? Like, so this is day 1. We'll see if that anchor point holds. You want to wait 4 days. So it was really cool. You liked it. Cool. I got a feeling you're going to get it down here, though. S&P could still come down. So I would wait on Verizon if it was me. Yeah, Starbucks is one I was harping on, and then of course we got banged down. I'm not doing anything here. Still a 32 RSI. It could go lower. It's below the box. Everything's pointing down. It's not a buy yet. It needs to get back up. If it gets back up in this box, and you see the box, right? If it gets back in the box, I will fib on the 4-day rule, because getting back into the box is super bullish. Meaning I want it to either go lower or to move up into here. And then I'd definitely be a buyer, or build its own box right where it's at. What do you think about UL? It's holding well despite the drop. Let's check out Unilever. Yeah, man. So this I would stay with. This is a stage 2 breakout, and let me show you. This is a common pattern. We need to come up with a name for this, where he had his big stage 4, right? There's the pivot point, and now what? Where's 4 days that are above that? So every chart I start backtracking it. We want to go at least to the previous signal, right? 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, and look at that. It magically is above the 5-day moving average, almost like we expected that. And we even got a little box there. There's our first buy point. Now, anywhere in here we can buy, right? And so now that we don't pay commissions, I tend to buy a little, next day buy some, next day buy 1 share. Like, I'll just sit and fuck with it, like, for all week, man. Maybe I got $2,000, I'll just nibble. 5 shares, 3 shares, 2 shares. And they're like, well, what if it takes off? Okay. It's not like there ain't other stocks, man. We'll get it next time. Like, I'm not planning to sell it, right? If we're talking buy and hold here. And then it started to run, but the pressure of the market took it down. Well, no shit. The S&P 500 pulled back. Right? So there's that pressure. And then look, it held. Back above again, the 5 again. So to me, this is just this continuing. That's how I see it. I'd keep adding, or if you're wanting to get in it, you buy it. If you're swing trading it, your target's in here. It's below the 200. I love this. I love it as a trade. I love it as a buy and hold. I don't have any of this stock, but it's one I wish I'd have bought over the years. But before I say all that, I haven't looked in a minute. Let me make sure nothing's changed. Wow, they don't have shit on it. Come on, man, work with me. All right, Morningstar's got a little bit better. 4-star, baby. They say it's 20% under discount. Not massive, but that's good. That mean that, if it's 19, we round to 20, right? I mean, if that says 6% discount, I don't know, I'm getting too excited about this. Yeah, I like it, man. Good looking at. Okay, banks have been setting up. Let's look at banks real quick. Couple ways to play this banking trade. Now, some of these now pay dividends. Some of these it says OBSV's up 8%. Penny stock. We're below the 200 again. So XLF is the sector ETF. Look at that, man. Oh, man. This is setting up here. Where's the RSI? 31. If we're rounding, if we're going to keep rounding today, we'll call it 30. Gives it a little room for a bottom. Is there a previous bottom? Yep. This tells us the momentum is still to the downside, though, even though you might want to fight it. If you did jump it, you just need to say out loud, I know I'm probably jumping this, okay? There's your bottom, and you know what the deal. I need 4 days, man. I need this to hold. That is a long ways from the 5-day moving average. So this is gonna take some time. You probably be picking this up Thursday or Friday. We'll check back in on Bank of America. Or XLF, but that's the Bank of America also. Look at JP Morgan. Pick your favorite bank, man. Now, again, would I jump this if it gets back into the box? Yeah. Fuck 4 days. If it gets back in the box, meaning that box there, these 2 lows that were put in, if it can get back up there on Tuesday or Wednesday, I'll jump the weighting. Otherwise, look, the momentum is to the downside. It's still going down, man. It's not done. The RSI is not even burned out yet. So that's how I'd analyze this. I would be like, this is a continuation of stage 4 decline. It's just moving down. Yeah, man. I would borrow a day. Yep, that's what I usually call it. Yep, let's keep an eye on the banking. Do it smart too, man. Even if you're just learning the money flow or playing with it, nibble. Like, you don't have to step out there and buy no big ass position. You could buy one share. Like, test it out. Test out this position trading thing. You don't have to, be a believer overnight. Like, you could play with it. And I always tell people the dogs of the Dow are my favorite ones to do that with because you cannot get hurt. Let's see. I mean, you seriously cannot get hurt owning these stocks here. Amgen. Okay? Amgen. Chevron's come down. Dow's come down. Look at that banging. Remember, we were selling this. We were selling into that high. Why? Because it's overpriced, man. If you go look at the price of Dow, so that was one that I was selling. Not selling a lot. I was just trimming some. Just taking some off the table. They think it's fairly valued. Tip Ranks thinks it's overvalued. Why? Because money flow said it's topping out. Our side, there's our top. 4 days hold this. We can go ahead and call this stage 3, and we assume it's coming down, man. IBM. The only buys right now in this dogs of the Dow is Intel. Intel's a buy right now. What else we got? Coca-Cola's not. It was back here. It's not now, right? 3M is a buy. Stage 1 buy. Woo! Got some action. Merck is going into a stage 4 decline. We already took some off, so as a buy and holder, we don't do anything. Oh my God. Verizon's collapsing. Not a buy yet. You could trim Merck if your position's big enough on that stage 4. I like to do it in the stage 3 and then ignore the stage 4. I'm greedy. I'd rather sell it up into here and then ignore the stage 4. That's how I typically do it. Walgreens is a buy. WBA. So we got 4 dog stocks. Intel, 3M, and WBA are buys. Merck is a potential sell. So not bad on that list, man. Not a catastrophe today. You can learn to trade on this list. You can learn to swing trade on this list. You could buy and hold them in one account, swing trade them on the other. I mean, what are my thoughts on DraftKings? I was hoping to escape that. All right, you're a subscriber, sir. I'm going to look at DraftKings. Down and probably further down. That's my thoughts. Everything's pointing down, man. So we'll see. These stocks are not getting any love. I would not be in any kind of rush to add to them. This goes for all the growth stocks. They are all in an extreme bear market right now. Now, if you want to, I have no problem staying with them. And I would do the same thing. I would keep adding on stage 1s, but you can't do that and then cry. Like, that's the game on that. Like, if you're trying to stay with these for life, then you add to these on the stage 1s. You just keep doing it, man. You just keep doing it. They're not all going to zero, man. PayPal and them, they're going to stop. But this could be a 2-year bear market, so you need to be ready for that, man. Go watch Kathy Wood videos, man. Like, you see her, she's like, oh, this is a buying opportunity. And I agree with her. But I don't know when they're going to turn up. Like, I have no idea. I do believe most of them are cheap. I love DraftKings. I have a bunch of it. It's just not going up right now, man. Not going up. Man, there's like 10 of these that are just... You know what I was thinking of doing the other day, man? There's a list of these that are so cheap. I was like, man, I need to go to M1 Finance and put all... I just need to go and create a penny stock fund. Put all 50 of my top penny stocks in there. And you can just one click, it'll spread the money evenly. And then go get all of, the top 30 of these little growth plays and put them all in one account in there and just buy shit tons of weight. Some won't make it, some will. It's an easier way to spread money across a bunch, but I don't know when they turn, man. I hope they do it sooner than later. I would love a 2-year bear market too. I know for me that's not good for business. Hard to sell books to people about stocks when they're going down. It's just a reality. The moment the growth stock turned down, like we started losing Money Flow Gang members, people stopped logging into their accounts. They're only excited when it goes up. It's unfortunate because it's not how you build wealth, but I guess. I don't know, man. It's most people. They're only excited about the market if it goes up. I guess. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know how to fix that. I think that's just the way we're always going to be. Takes time. Are you looking at bonds right now? Yeah, I'm long the TMF, triple leveraged bonds. It's above the 5, built a box. I like it. To be fair, I've bought every stage 1. Here, right? I bought that one. I bought that one. And haven't bought this one yet, but I'm sure I will. Obviously been wrong on this trade. I've been wrong on many more that I bought, all the stage 1s that ultimately come back and go up higher and make me a bunch of money. I've done that many times, so I'm not that worried. I'll keep this reasonable. Sometimes people say, well, I own too much. Well, I don't understand because it went cheaper, so there's a little bit of room there, which tells me you're making your ads too large. So the ads should be composite. So if we had 1,000 shares up here and we had 20 grand worth, and now we're down here at 15, you don't have 20 grand worth, you have 15. So if you liked it at 20, you could put 5 more on. I mean, that's what I'm saying, like adjust it based on, when you say position size, it's not like share size, it's size of the value of the stock. So if it then turns around and doubles and triples, well, it's now triple the size that you normally have. You'd pull some off. So as it goes higher and you sell, you want to keep it, some sort of semblance of a balance if the idea is to hold it forever. Makes sense? So like I had 300 shares of Exxon in one account. I ended up selling 50 of those shares into those high moves, holding 250. And then I'll look at putting another 50 or 60 on, maybe. If we pull back enough, and it makes it attractive again. And then if it runs up, I'm going to take them off and keep my 250 in that account for the dividends. And then in another account I have the same. So I want to keep that number. I want at least this much for dividends. The rest I can add and take on based on how it moves, man. I think because people don't have confidence when it goes downhill. Yeah, it takes time, man. It takes time. And little they know the best time. It takes time, man. It takes time. So if you feel nervous, that's normal. It's normal, man. It's normal to panic. It's normal. You get over it. That's why you just got to stay on it. All right, man. You guys be good. It went too long.